So all month we've been talking about gait and mobility, and we touched a little bit on the feet, and Colleen wrote that great blog post on the structure of the foot. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks to keep them loose and mobile, because that foot really has to flex and extend and work to keep you upright. And it's common with Parkinson's and with aging in general for that contracture to begin right at the feet, where we're clawing and there's a rolling under of the toes as we walk, and that throws the balance off. You get hammer toes and curling of the toes or rounding, and you'll start to walk on your foot funny. It'll throw your ankle off, and that'll throw your knees and your hips off and cause all kinds of pain all the way up the chain. So grab your foot. Probably have done that a while if you can get it. If not, find your spouse or someone. You know what I mean. Find someone to take care of, grab your foot. And we're just going to start by just kind of pulling it. So grab underneath, it's called kneading it. We're just going to pull it apart and just feel into the foot. Notice what feels squishy, which feels a little dense, and just kind of squish it. We're getting some blood flow in there. We're just loosening things up and getting a feel for the land. Little lay of the land here. So I'm going to push down here, and notice it's all tendons on the top. Not a very comfortable thing, but squish the toes out a little bit, give them a little pull, and just kind of work the blood down the foot. And then we're going to roll the foot under and tuck it. Now it's probably pretty easy to roll the toes under, but now try and grab underneath. You're just going to grab it and pull the toes up as best you can, being careful. You don't want to pull anything too hard or too far. And then roll it back down. Roll the toes under and roll it back up. There you go. So just take it in, give it a little flex and extend. Kind of squish it out, pull it up. All right, let me grab a little lotion. Nothing fancy, just whatever you got laying around. And pull across. Now you're going soft. So we're just kind of getting it a little, we've gotten it warmed up, we've got the things moving. We put a little lotion on there so things slide around. So take it and take each toe individually. And we're going to mobilize each toe. So kind of take your pinky toe and see if you can make it move. If you've got any hammer toes or any kind of clawing going on, some contracture, it might be uncomfortable. But as long as the joint can move, you can make some progress at rolling those out. So rolling it around, making little circles. These toes don't like to spread on their own, so we have to make them work sometimes. So roll it up and roll it down. Give it a little circling. Kind of pull off the ends. And again, each toe. I'm only going to do one foot. You can do both. It's best to do both. So rolling each toe. All right? You get the gist. Take it out. There we go. And now if you can, see if you can go from the bottom and put one finger between each toe. So we're spreading them apart. It's usually very difficult as we age to spread those toes. There's special tools and little gizmos that you can do to put into toes. But pull the toes down and then push them back up. That's going to feel a little uncomfortable the first time you do it, because you're stretching out is the plantar fascia on the bottom, which tends to get tight as we use those feet. Put a little more lotion on my feet. There we go. So we got the toes, we're going to roll them back up. There we go. And you'll feel that tightness, those tendons. There's a big one that goes up to the toe, to the big toe. Push that down and give it a little motion. You'll feel it move, and it's kind of, feels like a steel cable. Let's be honest. And pull it up. Rolling right over the toes, see if you can spread them. Bringing the toe up. So we're working in the opposite direction that it wants to go as far as staying tight. Just give it a little squeeze and then come back up. You can't really do it wrong. There's nothing you're going to hurt in your feet. So getting that all worked out, like I said, do both. Then when you get done, come down and really roll the ankle. Because those toes, let's try to get this going. Here we go. The toes and the connectors for those, not the muscles are more tendon-like, where the belly of the muscle is actually up in the calf. So when you're working the feet, you got to work the calf because it's all connected. So there you go. So then work your feet up. We're just pulling it apart. You might notice about well, there's 3 little muscles in there you're going to notice for sure. Roll it across, squeezing one way and then squeezing the other. Again, you can't do it wrong. And then push it down and just squeeze it back up. We're getting the circulation going. This is super good if you've got any edema. Anything kind of backed up in there, get the circulation going. And then kind of roll it and pull it apart again. As you come across that, you'll start to feel the little bands. And you'll notice what's going on. And all of those connect, not all of them, most of them connect down in the foot, coming down around the heel. So we're just kneading the muscles, just loosening them up, getting that circulation going. And you'll notice your ankle might move a little better. And your foot might feel a little better, maybe a little tingly. It's a good thing. So work both feet and see how that feels. Some other great suggestions is really go barefoot, or if you have some kind of open-toed kind of a shoe that feels good, allow the toes to spread out. A lot of shoes have very narrow toe boxes, and that's encouraging the toes to curl. They also have a tendency for the shoe itself to roll up to help with propulsion. Not great for the foot, but it's great if you're going to run. So kind of watch that shoe. It should have almost a 0 arch or lower, or angle on the shoe. A lot of times you'll notice the shoe looks like it's bending up. Be careful there. All right, other than that, another fantastic thing to do with the shoe, foot. Grab a little ball. I got this one at Publix. It lights up if you jam it on the floor. But just roll that under your foot and roll it around. First of all, it's mobilizing the ankles and the toes, but it's also going to bring great blood flow and proprioceptive to the foot. So get a little spiky ball. They're like $2 over at Publix, and roll it across. And when we're working out at the gym, which we usually do a little foot drill at the beginning, coming up and down on the toes or rolling across them, gotta pay attention to what's going on, what's crunchy, if there's any kind of weird feeling in there. Just take note. There you go. And if you work the feet over time, those toes will start to relax and square up. And it'll increase your mobility as far as the propulsion off the foot and the rolling. Because if the toes are curling under, the foot's going to go off in funny directions. So I hope that helped. I hope there were some suggestions and some helpful suggestions in there. And have a good time with it, especially if someone else is rubbing your feet.